Hello everyone and welcome to Action RPG Build Guide Edition. Today I'm ready to drop on you my brand new 1000 Corruption Rive Paladin. I wasn't even planning on making this build, but I was leveling with Rive and then I had a couple ideas and I've kind of deemed it my Popeye build because you get a huge boost in damage when you drink a potion, and in this example the potion is our spinach. As always, I will show you every single facet of the build. Everything is timestamped in the description below if you need to bounce around. Let's not waste any time and jump right into this. All right, starting off with some gameplay. This is my Rive Attunement Stacking Fire Paladin. The gameplay you are looking at is 1000 Corruption. So we're gonna do a little arena echo so you can see what clear speed looks like and how quickly we could take down these enemies even at 1000 Corruption. And then I'm gonna show you an Aberoth fight. The skills we are using for this build are Rive, Lunge, Symbols of Hope, Healing Hands, and Holy Aura. And what's great about this build is you can actually pick whatever movement skill you like. I happen to really like Lunge. I guess I might be the only person that likes Lunge, but I feel like it works perfectly with Rive because you can almost lunge at will and just move pack to pack. And this build is also extremely controller friendly. So obviously you don't have to play on a controller, but I wanted to showcase that during this gameplay that I am playing on a controller. And Lunge works very well on controller as well. Left trigger and you just jump from target to target. Now this build we were also calling my Popeye build because you get a huge boost in damage when you drink a potion. So you're fighting, you're in combat, and then you need that extra damage boost. You drink your can of spinach, or in this case, a potion, and you get a base 100 melee fire damage to your Rive, which is a huge damage boost, or 33%. Let me show you Aberoth. For this build, it's pretty simple. Again, when you use Evade, you're going to give yourself Frenzy because of Nihilus, and you're just going to melee with Rive, and again, when you drink a potion, you're going to get a huge boost to your overall damage.
This is awesome. The void comes.
Final phase.
Fight for nothing.
And we got one potion left. Pop it. We actually have kill threshold with our Lunge, and dead.
What?
1000 Corruption Attunement Fire Paladin Aberoth kill. So now let's break down the skills for our Fire Popeye Rive Paladin. And this build was not planned. We were leveling with Rive and then I kind of had an idea, and now we're at 1000 Corruption, which is very cool. Now, first thing you want to do is you want to come up here and snag this node, Weapon Specialist. The entire build is focused around this node. If you have a sword, you get more physical damage. If you have an axe, you get more void. And if you have a mace, you get more fire damage per attunement. This is an attunement stacking mace fire Rive build, and we are using the new mace, Nest of Nightmares. Next thing you want to do is you want to come down here and boost the attack speed of your first and second strike. You're going to boost the multiplicative damage of your second strike. You're going to pull enemies in. You're going to shred, and you're going to remove the third attack. Normally when you play Rive, you really go into third attack. For this build, we are going into first and second attack. You're then going to come down here and boost your multiplicative damage against fire or enemies that are ignited. And then lastly, you're going to come up here, make forged weapons, and those forged weapons are going to get turned into multiplicative damage and armor. And again, this is an attunement stacker. Now you are dual wielding with the sword, which means technically if you have dexterity, you have attunement, or you have strength, which is what the skill actually is, all of it is going to help your overall damage on your Rive, which is really cool. And if for whatever reason you are struggling with critical strike chance, you could pull off one of these and you could take these nodes right here, which is going to super boost your crit. We didn't have any problems with critical strike chance, so we didn't take those nodes. Moving over to Lunge. Now, I said this earlier. For this build, if you don't like Lunge, you could take Shield Rush, you could take Volatile Reversal, You could take Smite as your movement. Like, there is so many different options when it comes to movement. I just happen to like Lunge, but if I wasn't gonna use Lunge, I would use Smite. That is what I would use. But either way, first thing you want to do is come up here and you want to take double strikes so that you can use 2 lunges, and then you want to take Warrior's Renewal and Endless Will. These 2 nodes with Rive basically makes it where you can lunge at will. So you lunge to a pack, hit, lunge to the next pack, hit, lunge to the next pack, hit, and it just keeps resetting the cooldown for Lunge. It is also going to give you Leech. Every time you use Lunge, it's like using a potion. You're going to get block, you're going to be invulnerable, it's going to be your kill threshold, and it's going to add frailty. Very smooth. It's very smooth. That is why I like it, but pick the movement skill of your choice. Moving over to Healing Hands, we are going to take Cleric's Hammer. So every time we use Rive, we are also going to use Healing Hands, and we're going to take it in its melee form down here. And what's great is if you remember Rive, we are using Attunement, Fire, Melee. And what is Healing Hands? It is Attunement, Fire, Melee. So Healing Hands with Rive built this way have perfect synergy. And what you're going to do is you're just going to take all of the melee nodes, you're going to come down here and make it free, and you're actually going to get a decent amount of ward generation from these 4 nodes right here, which scale on your healing effectiveness. Moving over to Symbols of Hope, the newly updated Symbols of Hope. It's going to give you a ton of survivability and damage as well. So on here, you're going to take damage, you're going to take critical strike chance, you're going to get endurance, cooldown, recovery speed, extra symbol. You're going to get double the regen, and then you're going to come down here and get an extra symbol. So that way you're having 5 of them spinning around you at all times. If you want to go more damage, you could peel back this symbol here and go into fire damage, but this is really we're using more for survivability. Gives us a bunch of regen. Last but not least, Holy Aura. On here, first thing you want to do is come up and get your poison resistance and get your endurance and elemental resistance. You're going to come up, get fire penetration, get attack speed, crit chance, and crit multiplier. Those are the skills. So now let's break down the passive tree. At time of recording, I am level 94, so we still have 6 points that we get to play around with once we level up our Sentinel. And there's so much good stuff in this tree. I wish I had 300 points, but I'll let you know the thought process behind it. So in the base tree, we have 30 points. We're taking Juggernaut for strength and resistances. Fearless, we just need an extra point. Health regen, damage reduction, cooldown and life for Lunge. We need a way to generate mana because when you pop your spinach potion, it's going to drain your mana. None of your stuff costs mana, so it's not a big deal, but you need a way to generate it. Time and Faith takes care of that. You could also get this on your gear through an affix. Gladiator for dual wielding, and Blade Master for 30% attack speed since we're using a sword. Moving over to Paladin, this is a physical and fire bill, so Conviction you are going to double up on. Defiance, attunement focused. We're going to get your 10 stacks of Fire Shred through Rye's Strength. Boost your health regen through Holy Icon, and lots of attunement focus here. So Faith Armor is going to give you health regen per attunement. Prayer is going to give you endurance threshold per attunement. You're going to boost your crit. And then you're going to come over here and get your protection, which is going to give you health regen per your Symbols of Hope. And you will have 5. So it's 25 base to health regen. Now, moving over to Forge Guard, we have 25 points in here. This is going to boost your melee attack speed with the sword, which you have. This is going to boost your fire and physical base, which you use both. You're going to come here and get health regen and flat. And the node you want is right here, Iron Attunement. It's going to attunement, armor, and damage over time mitigation per 2 attunement. So if you have 100 attunement or if you had 120 attunement, it's going to give you 60% damage over time mitigation. Unbelievable. My final 6 points, 3 of them are going to go right here into Righteous Firebrand for attack speed and fire penetration, and over here on Abyssal Endurance for void and physical damage taken -5, just to make you tankier. But just to recap for a second, your attunement is going to scale your Healing Hands. It is also going to scale your Rive Fire base damage. It is also going to scale your damage over time mitigation. It is also going to scale your health regen and your endurance threshold. You get so many bonuses from attunement. those are the passives. Moving over to last Epoch tools, we're going to break down the blessings, idols, and gear, starting with blessings. Now, what we have taken is critical strike multiplier, all resistance, endurance, armor, and health regen. And I always tell people you can switch around your blessings based upon what's important to your build and your gearing, but this is what worked for me. Crit multiplier is great for damage. You could go double armor here if you are good with endurance threshold. And the health regen, the double one, is very important. So I would make sure you take that. When it comes to idols, we definitely want a Throne of Ambition. This is going to give you armor stacks and multiplicative damage to your fire. The other idols we have taken is health regen, armor crit. Health regen, armor crit. Yes, you get the idea. All four the exact same. And then we needed a little bit of void resistance. So we snagged these two right here. So these are the idols, and again, you can pick the resistances that you need for these two. Now, when it comes to gear, oh man, there is a lot of good stuff in here, but I want to start by talking about this belt. You're probably thinking, if you're this far into the video, why the hell does he keep bringing up Popeye and drinking Spanish? What the hell is he talking about? This Fury belt, okay? Using a potion grants you False Water Fury until you run out of mana. During False Water Fury, your mana does not regenerate and is drained at an accelerated rate. During False Water Fury, non-channeled melee attacks, Rive, consume 20 mana to deal 100 melee fire damage. So remember, Rive is scaling on your attunement to give you melee fire damage. And we've been playing this on stream for a few days now, and the stream calls it the Popeye build because when you need that boost in damage, you pop a potion and it gives you a 33% boost. It's crazy. So, you don't, during regular echoes, during normal stuff, you don't even think about it. And then when you need that boost, you have it available. So it's not a potion spam build, but it's really, really fun to play. It's really fun to play. We're using Nest of Nightmares, Null Armor. In our offhand, we're using Eye of Reen. I've tested Smite a bunch, and the Smite sword, you can use it. I like Eye of Reen better. More critical strike multiplier. We are using a Nihilus Amulet. For our helmet, Attunement Strength, double life. Boots, Attunement Movement, double life. For our rings, I put Attunement Dexterity. I put Dexterity on here just to remind people that Dex is going to boost your physical damage base since we are using a sword, just as a reminder. But on here, double life attunement, double life attunement. For our gloves, we did use Swaddling of the Erased, melee attack speed, life attunement. This is more, so multiplicative damage to high health enemies just helps with clear speed. And then we are using Code of the Erased for Sentinel, 1 to skills, armor mitigation applies to damage over time with attunement and crit strike multiplier. Now, could you put on 2 red rings here in a Shattered Worlds? Yes, of course you can. On the boots as well, if you really wanted to, if you could find an awesome one, you can boost your critical strike multiplier by 100% if you could find an awesome step. They are extremely expensive and hard to find, even at 2 LP, but this can boost you as high as an additional 105 critical strike multiplier. But I felt in this situation right here, even with this gear, you will literally crush Aberoth. It is a very, very fun and strong build. So now let's talk leveling. This is not a leveling guide, but kind of try and direct you in the right direction. And this is where I got my inspiration from the build. There's so many awesome leveling items in this game. The main one being, of course, Firestarter's Torch. But there's tons of Elemental Leech and fire damage when you are leveling. So I was like, okay, we're going to level with Rive. What can we do from a fire perspective? All right, we'll take multiplicative damage. We could take crit. We could, oh, what's this? Fire damage for attunement. And we just started leveling with Rive. So this is the skill that I do recommend you level with. The second skill that we actually took was Lunge. Again, pick your preferred movement skill. Because again, you could lunge through the campaign so quickly. But it's probably faster if you took Shield Rush, because then you don't actually need a target. But either way, we leveled with Rive, Spect into Fire, Lunge with Warrior's Renewal, and then of course Healing Hands, because Healing Hands you could turn into a melee skill. And with some T7 movement boots, we freaking flew through the campaign. I also leveled with these 2 nodes right here. This is Divine Bolt and Shared Divinity, which made it when we automatically cast Divine Bolts when we were using our Rive, and Divine Bolts is actually spec'd into Fire and Attunement. Now later we spec'd out of this because we're not a spell build, we are a melee build, but ultimately this node right here, Divine Bolts with Rive, Lunge, and Healing Hands, I mean, the campaign was very fast. All right, everyone, that's the build guide. What do you think of my new Rive Fire Attunement Paladin? Is there anything I missed? Is there anything I can do to take this to the next level? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Please like, share, and subscribe. Of course, only if you think I've earned it. And if I haven't earned it, I'm gonna work harder for you. We are so close to 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. Currently at 98,600. So we're really gonna push for that 100 mark. So thank you so much for the support. I'm recording this live on Air Action RPG on Twitch if you want to come by for the subathon. Today is day 21, and we're always having a lot of fun. If you want to check it out, or if you just have any questions, I am available to you. I'm done. Hopefully you were entertained or at least learned something. Aaron, out.